Welcome to another video
Welcome to our
on
video
another
on
HackerRank problem
Hackerrank
that we'll be solving
problem.
in this particular video, which is called the start and end problem. This is a Python problem, an intermediate Python problem. We're starting to solve this problem. Unlike other HackerRank problems, in this problem we need to code the entire program ourselves, and we're not just not coding one function or one feature, but coding the entire, which is generally speaking, there's just one particular function we need to solve in this problem, but again, like we need to protect in this particular problem. We need to structure it however we want. We can use any library that we want to implement as well. So we're given a string called s and a substring called sub, right? We need to find all the occurrences of the substring sub in the string s. For each occurrence that we find, we need to print the start and ending indices of the match substring as a tuple. And if there's no match, we print the -1 substring. So what do we mean by that? Let me break this problem down, right? So we get a string s and we get a substring called sub, right? These are the two values we get in this problem. Given these two problems, uh, for example, in one case we might get the string s might be a, b, c, b, c, a, a, b, c. Like potentially that could be one of the strings that we have. This is the string that we have, yes, right? And the substring we have is B and C, right? So that is our substring, which is uh, the substring we have. So in this problem, what we need to do is to find all occurrences of B and C in this string. So we have 1, we have 2, and we have 3. It's not just like that. We need to find the starting index and the ending index. So this is 0, this is 1, and 2. So our output would be 1, comma 2. That's going to be printed on the console. Then our output is going to be uh, 3, 4. And then our output is going to be 7, 8, right? So this is the output we want when we identify the substrings, right? This is the output we want. So considering that we want to find the indices and print them for this problem for a certain substring within the major string, that is what we need to do in this particular. Keep in mind, if we have to overlapping, it doesn't matter. We need to be unique. For example, if potentially uh, uh, we had three strings, right, called BCB, or in BCB, right? Uh, so potentially there could be, let's say, it this way, right? We had, let me find something that could be overlapping aspect to this problem. So let's say basically potentially if there were two substrings, right, that had BC, right, in it, and we've already added B string, but they overlapped between each other. So if an index, potentially there was an index that was starting at 8 and ending at 9, that would be also included because we don't separate the overlapping substrings as well. We need to find any and all combination which forms the substring that we are given. So it doesn't matter whether that substring has already been, one of the letters or index has already been covered in another substring, but if it still forms that substring, we're going to use that basically. That's an aspect of this question that you need to remember. So with that out the way, uh, another aspect we need to remember here is we're importing the RE regular expression module because we want to use the find find ditter method from that, which helps us find all the occurrences of the substring sub in the string s. So let's go back here and import the particular library. Importing RE here, which is a regular expression module, module that we're going to use. And now, oh yeah, one more thing, right? So here, potentially, if we find if our substring was, let's say, AC, right? These two. We don't see A and C anywhere in combination, which means our output would be -1, comma 1. So then we give this output out, right? That's necessary. So that is basically the entire problem. So with that out of the way, let's start coding this problem. So first we need to take the input of the main string and the substring. So we set that up. We have set up the mechanisms to take the input. Then we use the find method to basically find all the substrings. So we'll write that out. We create a variable within which we're going to convert the output from the find iter function into a list. So we do that. Within that, we need to set up certain parameters for the find iter function. So we're going to set those up. All right, so that should be the find iter function. So basically what the find iter function does is that it takes an input and it finds all the substrings in that input and returns them. And if it doesn't find doesn't find those substrings, it returns the same answer that we need. If the question doesn't find the substrings, it is -1 to 1, right? So it gives us the indices of those substrings directly. So given those substrings are given to us, right? Then the next thing we need to do is to specify certain requirements. As you can see, we used a bunch of symbols within the find iter function, which is basically a look ahead assertion we're using to find all overlapping matches, because it allows us to search for substrings that start at different positions even if they're overlap. And that is the thing that we're doing to make sure we get that overlap substrings processed as well, right? So once we have that function, then we need to set up an if statement to basically, get the indices and get them ready, basically. So let's sort that out. End index needs to follow a certain formula so that we can get the appropriate index. So we're going to use that. and they're going to print the start and end indexes as a tuple. Now that we have the process for printing sorted out for the in the case that we do get matches, we also need to consider the situation we don't get the matches. So we're going to do that next in the else statement, and here we're going to simply print a tuple that is that that doesn't that we have specified as in case we don't get any response. It's -1 and 1, right? So with that, I think out of the way, what we can do now is to run the code. That should pretty much solve this problem. So we have a compilation error. Yeah, there was something going on in this particular portion. We have list. We have the opening bracket. Oh, yeah, I think that might be the reason. Let's run that again. Still getting a compilation error. Yeah, this is some syntax error that we did here. Let's try to fix that. Opening bracket, second opening bracket. Yeah, let me see if I've written this code properly. That might be one. Yep, I think that should. Yep, I think that should solve our problem. Oh, I think we missed something. Yep, we missed something. I was thinking there was a fix that. We had a for loop. For this, we didn't push it inside a for loop. Out of the way, let's run this code. It should work properly now. Now we're getting a runtime error again. Let's see what the issue is. All right, so yeah, misspelling here. Let's run this again. Yep, the test case is solved properly. And this is how you solve the start and end intermediate level Python problem on Hackerrank. And with that, we're going to wrap this video up and we'll see you on our next video. Thank you.